Alright, YouTube Axis and Allies brethren, welcome back to Turret 2 for this classic edition variant version game of Axis and Allies between No Limit as the Axis powers, the ever-growing Axis powers, and myself, Captain Jack, as the floundering Allies. Alright, so we saw what just happened in Japan, or by Japan, in Hawaii, and so we know they're just ready to pounce on the Americas, as No Limit said, obviously. So I am producing this turn 13 infantry for America. They had 40 to spend. They had 2 from last turn and 38 to spend. 2 from the prior turn and then 38 from last turn. So they got 40 total to spend. So they're spending 39 of the 40 on 13 infantry. So 13 infantry. And the only battle that we'll have is going to be actually in Germany. Again, this is a long shot, but desperate times. So, as I mentioned before, we've got 3 infantry and 1 tank coming from Western Europe, along with a bomber and a fighter from the UK, going into Germany to go up against 3 tanks, 2 infantry, and 2 Japanese fighters. So, I don't even know what the odds are for this, but I got a feeling they're pretty long for America. But we're going to try it anyway, because got to do what you got to do. Okay. So, for the bomber and fighter anti-aircraft gun for Germany, we'll roll. So we'll roll those all together this time. And it's a 5 and a 6. So a 5 and a 6. Alright, so both misses. Alright, so for the attack, we've got a bomber coming in at a 4. So I'll have to roll that separately. That's the only one coming in at a 4. Alright, and it rolled a 2, so there was a hit. 1 hit. Fighter and a tank rolling at 3 or less. Fighter and a tank rolling at 3 or less. 1 hit and 1 miss. 1 1 and 1 4. So that's 2 hits total so far. And 4 infantry, and they'll have to roll a 1 to get a hit. 4 infantry. All right. So here is the roll for the infantry. No 1s, just 4s, 3 and a 6. All right. So the Germans will now fire back with 2 infantry and 3 tanks, so that's 5 defending at a 2 or less. 5 defending at a 2 or less. And we've got 2 4s, a 3, a 5, and a 5. So all of those missed. Now the Japanese fighters. Japanese fighters in Berlin, isn't that crazy? No Limit obviously foresaw this coming, so he protected well. All right, so here's for the Japanese fighters, 4 or less, and there was 1 hit, 1 6 and a 4, 1 6 and a 4. All right, so I lose an infantry, and he loses. Oh, I didn't roll for his bomber. Sorry. No Limit. I just realized you had a bomber there. Forgot about that bomber. No, you didn't have the bomber. Never mind. Scratch that. You put the infantry back and didn't want the bomber. So, all right. So 2 infantry remain for the Americans. 2 infantry were lost by the Germans. All right, so that'll leave three American infantry, 1 tank, and the bomber and the fighter still left. All right. And for the Germans, we've got 3 tanks and 2 fighters still left. Okay, so this is going okay. All right, so we got the bomber out of 4, and it rolled a 6. 6, so it missed. We got a fighter and a tank rolling at 3 or less. And 2 hits there. So 2 hits. 2 hits there. And 3 infantry rolling at 1. 3 infantry at 1. And there were no hits. 3 and 2 twos. 3 and 2 twos. Okay? All right, so firing back for the Germans, 3 tanks, defending at 2. And there was 1 hit. There was a 1, a 3, and a 5. A 1, a 3, and a 5. So there was 1 hit. And the 2 Japanese fighters defending at 4. So 2 and a 1, so 2 hits. So 3 hits total by the defense, 2 hits by the attackers. So he'll lose 2 tanks, and I'll lose 3 infantry. All right. So all we have left are a bomber and a fighter and a tank for America. And for Germany, we've got a tank and 2 Japanese fighters. All right, so here we go for the bomber again. And there was a hit. So there's 1 hit there. Here's for the fighter and the tank. And I think my battery's going to die on my phone. I hope it doesn't. So 1 hit there. 1 hit there. So that's 2 hits total so far. And I'm trying to get this battle done before it does. Okay. So, so the defense, we got 1 German tank defending at a 2 or less. And it rolls a 6. 2 Japanese fighters rolling at 4 or less. And 1 hit and 1 miss. So I'm going to take a hit on the fighter. I'm going to lose a fighter. And he will have to lose gosh, I didn't know it was going to come down to this. He will lose the tank, obviously. So I've lost a fighter and a tank, and he loses actually a fighter. So he's just got the Japanese fighter left, according to this. All right, so we've got 1 bomber, 1 American bomber left, rolling at a 4. Trying to eliminate that last fighter. And it rolls a 1. It rolls a 1, so it gets a hit. That's all they needed. All right, so here's the fighter firing back. The 4 or less. Rolls a 2. So I'm going to take a hit on the bomber. And the tank's going to roll into Berlin. I did not expect that to happen. I'm going to review this tape, make sure I rolled everything right before I post it. But it looks like America was able to win that victory. So, all right, so let me check that out and I'll be right back. Well, actually, yeah, that's all the battles. That's all the battles I'm going to do. Actually, I'll go ahead and do my non-combat as well. So, the 3 transports off the coast of France or Western Europe are going to go into the sea zone with the UK subs off the UK. And the 4 transports in the US, 4 transports in the US are going to bring 8 infantry into Western Europe and drop them off there. Over here in the Pacific, the fighter's going to go back to the Western United States. All the naval fleet's going to move down to the coast of Western United States. Oh, except this transport's going to pick up the infantry in Midway. It's going to come down and pick up the infantry in Midway and drop him off in the Western U.S. The 2 infantry in Alaska are going to move down 1 into Western Canada. I don't know what I was thinking before. And the 13 infantry are going to go down into the Western United States. So I'm glad my battery has hung on. All right, so that is the entire turn for the U.S. Hopefully that victory was right. I think I did all the rolling right for Berlin. I'm sure No Limit you'll let me know if I didn't. But I think I did that right. I'm going to review it before I post, so hopefully it is right. Okay, so for unit recap, I'm going to hurry up for my battery dies. Okay, so we got 4 transports off the coast of Western Europe, 3 transports off the coast of the UK, 8 infantry in Western Europe, 1 tank in Germany. In Western Canada, 2 infantry. In Western United States, 15 infantry and 1 fighter and an AA gun. Off the coast of Western United States, a battleship, a transport, and 3 subs. Okay, so that'll do it. So from Turret 2, Captain Jack, over and out.